who was, it turns out that she was a slave out of North Carolina and somehow ended up here in Indiana, in Indianapolis. And she moved to Mitchell, what is Mitchell, the Paoli area. Around that area was one of the first Black settlements. It's Lit Creek. She ended up moving there, and and it looks like she, like, on the 1830 stimulus, so the 1840 stimulus, she was on our stimulus census, the 1840 census. She that was the earliest, at first it was the earliest census I could track back to.
Mm-hmm.
And she was on the census by herself. So she was on the census. You have this Black woman on the census by herself with like 5 mulatto children, right? So, and it didn't, the on the 1840 census, it had them as Black, but on the 1850 census, they were listed as mulatto.
Okay.
So the past that, like all past that, she was on that census by herself. She was the head of household. And then before that, I couldn't find anything until I ended up finding a headstone that was connected to her with the name Reuben Bonds on it. So I began to look up Reuben Bonds. One day, I just so happened to Google Reuben Bonds, and it was connected to her name. Reuben Bonds was a white man.
Mm.
Reuben Bonds, he settled in Indiana. Her and him settled in Indiana around the 1830 time. And he can be traced back to South Carolina. And I found his information in South Carolina, and it was just him, and he owned a female slave that was the same age as him, and four children, and they were the slave woman and the 4 children, they were all slaves. And he came here, brought her here, married her in 1832, and in 1834 he died at the age of 36.
Mm.
So that was very peculiar to me. He died at such a young age, and she lived to be 80 and lost her vision. But anywho, so that's where I'm at right now with this search. Now I need to find out um who she was prior to linking up with Reuben Bonds. So before she was Reuben Bonds, her name's Penelope.
Mm-hmm.
Before she was Penelope Bonds, she was Penelope Hill, and she's out of North Carolina. So in Google, like in trying to find any of the Penelope Hills in North Carolina, all I could find was white women. So I don't know if that's where the name came from, being as though she was a slave. I'm just not sure. But it was just, it's it's just a lot of things about my history that I'm still trying to find out. I did find out that there's a book called Indiana Genealogy, and that side of the family made it to that book. It's 3 pages on there, and it's about the most peculiar thing. It's not the best of things, but nonetheless, we were in there. So it turns out Reuben left Penelope some land, his estate, some other things in a will. And, he had farmland. So at this farm, she decided to move. She didn't want to be there anymore. But her son, John, did not want to move. John Bonds, he didn't want to move. And they moved anyway. So he went along with her, as a kid would. But but after he got to where they was going, this is how he made it to the book, y'all. He would not come out of his room for 27 years.
So, at what age did he get there? Since he was there for 27, was he like 5?
I think so. He was young. He was really young. And yeah, so when they got there, he stayed in that thing till he was 20. He was in that thing for 27 years. No, honestly, I think he was a little bit older, and he stayed in that room. Yeah,
Can you
like till he was
imagine
older. Yeah, like what kind of how are you?
what
I've
kind of
never heard of
development did you
such.
do? That's like prison that
It
you
is.
posed on yourself.
And it said that there were doctors that came to check on him that confirmed that he was okay. Like he was able to walk, he was able to talk. He just didn't leave his room and he didn't talk to nobody in the house. He was that mad. Like how I don't understand. Like it ain't that much anger in the world, baby boy. But
I think you should do more diving on him. He's special.
it,
That's a special kind of stubborn.
it is.
And I'm
And
stubborn, but that's a unique flavor
and
of
I
it.
think there is more information in there on him as well, but I'd have to research on him, but right now I'm really focusing on Penelope. I'd like to know more about her and where it is that she comes from. Who exactly is Reuben Bonds? Was he in all actuality a Quaker? Because the settlement in which they were in was very much so a Quaker region. Or I mean, I know on the 1830 census it said that he was a free white man, and Penelope was indeed a slave, and the children were too. So it looks like he was also a slave owner, or he had to put himself down as a slave owner. I don't uh, the relationship, how they ended up getting married. I don't. It's just all a mystery to me, but nonetheless, very interesting and diving in deep into this. Like, I mean, I encourage everyone. This is Black History Month. You don't have, we extend far beyond
28
that.
days.
Yeah, far beyond that. And your history is is a great history. Look it up. Look it up. I've dug into my mother's biological father, his side of the family, where he's like they're owning land in time where that was like nearly impossible. Like it's just
You get
I
robbed of a
encourage
lot of
you all.
stuff. You get robbed of a
Yeah.
lot of stuff by not, leaning back. And one thing, and this is what I get from a lot of us is our elders won't speak. It's like prying the what's that knife, that sword out of what you call it, like Sir Nottingham's, whatever,
Yeah.
the Excalibur. It's like,
Excalibur.
man,
Yeah.
it's like, oh my gosh, it's worse than pulling teeth to get some real data out of your elders. And I guess it's because the hell that they went through, and um the indoctrination of, if you talk about this stuff, you're going to get killed. I mean, when you look at Black Wall Street, after it was burned down, they threatened the people that if you talk about this, we're going to kill you. And so then they
Yeah.
tried to rebuild it a second time. And I think it was more than 2 times they tried to build it. And each time it was, we're going to kill you. We're going to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And so after being under, that mindset, you just be like, I'm not saying nothing. But by not saying nothing, so like my grandmother, she graduated from Butler University with her master's. She was a school teacher. I didn't know that until I was damn near done with college myself. I was like, Grandma, why wouldn't you tell us this? Like, and when I grew up in Indianapolis, so I know Butler. but I didn't know
Right.
Butler. Butler is one of
Yeah.
the most prestigious private institutions in the country. And my grandmother, a little, how tall is grandma? Grandma's probably 4'12" or 5 foot. She ain't about 150 pounds, 120 pounds, 100 pounds wet. And she graduated from Butler in Indianapolis when there was a time where, you know, we grew up in the neighborhood where the KKK's headquarters was, and it was like that would have been actually motivating to know the greatness, that the achievements of my grandparents. My grandfather, he was supposed to be part of the wave of the Negroes that were integrated into the National Baseball League, the MLB. I think that's what, I don't watch it, but yeah. But that was like a secret. It's like all of these secrets we keep from our kids that would really motivate them and create a different movement, especially because if you're not going to tell these stories of how great you are, society's going to tell you how not great you are. So
Yeah.
you would be, it would be best behooving to you to indoctrinate the minds of your babies instead of allowing social media
And it's
and
just,
television networks and music and all this other stuff to do your job for you. Go ahead.
and then we as Black folks, our families are so intertwined and have dealt with such dysfunction for so long
Yeah.
that it's not even just the elders, like even your moms and your dad, like
Yeah.
they it's a trigger for them.
Yeah.
So to talk about some of this stuff, and it brings
It
back
brings up.
memories
Yeah.
that they really don't want to recall.
Yeah.
So they
But we
really
need you
don't
to
they don't
recall
talk
it.
about it.
We need you to talk about it. Speaking of
Yeah.
family, what's up, mama? My mama, y'all see this fly little hat? My mama do that thing. You feel me? She put that thing together.
It looks so warm.
It is too. I wish.
Marley, I got one for Marley with the ponytail. You able to put your ponytail
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
So
BJ's
hers
House
is
of
like
Thread.
pink, yeah, pink and gray and white. And she just had hers on earlier this morning. She was outside walking the dog with my dad.
Yeah, man.
So
But yeah, because me and my mom, we had these conversations, and a lot of the hidden family history, it'll come from her, it'll come from one of my aunts and one of my cousins, but it won't come from the actual people that participated in it. And I'm getting a lot of this intel in my 20s, 30s, and 40s when I feel like in my teens, like there should have been like a bonfire point of the year where family, well, this is where we, and then this is what family reunions are for. But
yeah.
so you said, okay, kids, let's sit you back. Because when you look at a lot of the parables that tribes and even nations were built off of, like there was a point in time in history where none of this stuff was documented down on paper. It was
Mm-hmm.
oral. It was passed down
Yep.
orally. It was stories from pawpaws and big mamas and mamas and Medeas and all this stuff that was like, hey, let's sit down and have these conversations and talk about it.
Griots.
Yeah. And then that's how the stories go. And now we just like, nope. But a lot of these stories, we need them. What's up, Carolyn? Good morning. Glad you came
Good
in.
morning.
um, but
But
yeah,
yeah, it's that history is very important. Like there's no better Black history than your history.
yeah.
So
And when you see how it ties into history,
yeah,
I, f-
yeah,
I
and
found
you
out,
like
I
that's why them
found out,
stories are so interesting.
yeah, I found out that I on my paternal side, I'm direct lineage of Pharaoh Ramses III. And so and my dad is dead, so I can't really be like, yo, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
But the irony, as a kid growing up, it would be people from Eritrea, Ethiopia, or just parts of Northern Africa, East Northern Africa, whatever, and they'd be like, "Where are you from?" And I'd be like, "Indianapolis, Indiana." No, where are your parents from? Maryland and Tennessee. No, like that's as far as I get.
Right,
I'm
right.
like, I don't know what else to tell you.
And that's why I said I'm trying to go as far as I can. Like I'm just you all the different scenarios that pop up in my mind of what could have been in 1830. Like, good
Good
morning,
morning,
Mama
baby.
Harley.
We was
So
just
it's
talking about you.
like at what point, like where did they intersect?
Yeah.
How did she get to him? How did he get to her? Did he buy her? Did he like I'm it's
You
just
talking
all
about with
kind of
You
stuff
talking about with
with
Penelope?
Penelope.
Okay.
Yeah, how did she get there? Where was her docking point? Like who? It's just it's so much. It's so much. And what is crazy is my brother now resides in North Carolina.
Mm.
We went to North Carolina to visit him. We've been down there a couple of times. And then we've also gone to South Carolina to the beaches. And I know this may sound crazy or whatever, but I've shared this with other people too. You say what you want to, but when I drive down them back roads and I'm on them beaches and stuff, I feel that.
Yeah.
Like like it's like the hairs start to stand up on the on my arms and on the back of my neck, like, and you just it's like this, I don't know, this eeriness or like ominous feeling,
I've been
like
here before.
somebody else was there.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I just I encourage everybody to look up really research your ancestry, man. Ain't no telling there's no telling what you gonna find.
Yeah. It's probably 40 acres waiting for you to just come claim it, and you don't know it. One time I was with one of my old roommates back in the day, Landry. Shout out to Landry. And I was going with him on a project. He was a sprinkler system designer, engineer. And we was
Hmm.
going down to some military base. It was right at the tip of Georgia and Florida. I've never been in this region ever in my life. So we driving. And then we start seeing cotton fields. And I'm like, hold up, where are you taking me? What is going on? And then you see like big like bales of cotton that's like the size of a ranch style home. And then you see the plantations. You see the mansions
Hmm.
way back there, but you see the cotton fields. And in my mind, everything went black and white. And I saw us on the fields tilling cotton. And I was just like, am I high right now?
Only you.
What's going on with the brain? But I saw all this stuff, and if I just energy never dies. And
Yes.
so every cell in your body is a component of every ancestor that came before you. So, I mean, and that kind of goes into epidemiology, the transfer of trauma genetically. But I'm seeing all this stuff and I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Let's hurry up and get out of
Yeah.
here. Let's hurry up and get to this spot. But yeah, that history is that history component is very important to who you. So Dr. John Henry Clark says history is used to see who you were to know who you should be.
Ooh.
I'm paraphrasing it because it was more intricate than that, but that's that's the gist of what he was saying. You have to know who you are, who you were, in order to know who you're supposed to be. This is why during slavery, it was you wasn't supposed to read. They took
Yeah.
your language was stolen from you, your history was stolen from you, everything that makes a human being psychologically, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, it was removed from you, and you were handed a different version.
Hmm.
Now, who does this
And
version
told
benefit?
this is you.
Yeah,
You was told no, this is who you are.
yeah. I was reading something from Dr. Frances uh, Cress
Wes
Welsing,
Krelson.
and she says she was talking about the promotion of, for lack of a better phrase, niggerdom. How we take, um, how we take denigrative, like detrimental attributes, how we've been trained to do that and promote it as if it's good. Like we calling each other bitches and hoes and I'm gonna kill you, and it's like, yeah, that's hot. But as soon as you come up with a song, it's like, hey, you beautiful, I love you, we love each other. They be like, man, if you don't get that whack stuff out of here. But so hold on. Carolyn says, if you think that's bad, try those Waffle House. If they don't look like you, don't eat there. I don't get what you say. What you talking about, Carolyn? I didn't think nobody's still eating at Waffle House. But
and you know what else about like deep diving into my history is that it's hard for me to find people to share it with.
Because don't
like
nobody
who
care.
Are yeah,
they be like,
who
so
are just as interested, who are just as interested in it as I am. Like I call my brother and I talk to my dad about it. But even still, like it's not as interesting. It's not going to be as interesting to them as it is to the person who's actually doing it, because it shows that obviously this is something that I care about because I'm doing it. And so, but it is like I've tried talking to it, and you see that you slowly see their attention fade. I'm like, hey, let me tell you. And it's like Microsoft Windows just shuts down at a certain point. And they just fade off. And I'm just like, well, hey, I tried.
Yeah.
So, but it's very interesting to me. I promise, man. Yeah, like once you, and it's addicting too.
Yeah,
It's addicting.
you
Once
go
you
down this
really get
rabbit
into,
hole.
oh, it's a horrible rabbit hole.
You ain't
do,
sleeping. You go to work and you ain't showered, or you ain't
listen.
slept. What up, Sly?
It's like I would go, like it got so bad for me at some point that I would go to sleep with my phone on Ancestry where I had left off. That way, when I would open my screen back up, like
Back
during
at it.
the middle of the night, I would wake up at like 2 something in the morning, maybe go to the bathroom or something. And I'd be like, because before I wake up, it's all these thoughts that are going through my head. Like, well, what if he is him, but he was with her, and then so now I'm looking at it, and then before you know it, it's time for me to get up and go to work. Like I'm a zombie.
Quiana, what you need? Hey, yes, I'm here. I'm here. Ancestry.com. Holla at your girls. Okay, Carolyn, I got you. Yeah, man. DJ Faye, what's good, fam? What's good, cuzzo? But yeah, man. So there's actually a book that was created on my maternal side, on my mom's side, because on my mom's side, we're from Tennessee, Dayton, Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee, and I come from the Wilkersons on that side. And
really?
So, yeah, and that part was told to me a lot as a kid because the Wilkersons actually ran shit up there. Like there was business owners and stuff like that. Like it was. So whenever I would talk about the Wilkerson side, like there would be some joy that lit up in me because I was like, yes, we at one point in time.
Yes.
We ran shit.
It gives you a little something. And I feel that way about the Williamsons. So that is my mom's her paternal side. And yes, if you're from Indianapolis and you're listening, so the Williamsons fish market, yeah. So that was Roosevelt, him and my grandfather Robert Williamson were first cousins.
So if you want a free plate, just say cousin Quiana sent you.
I'm gonna tell you, that's not gonna happen. And um and we that side of the family came from Jackson, Tennessee.
Okay.
So so
So
we had
what would
go
be
ahead.
you already said it, but reiterate for the people that just joined in. What are some steps, some basic steps that they can take and just to start the wheels to start spinning about researching their family's history?
Google. Like first step, Google and gather all, as many dates, but like because you can't get anywhere without some type of dates, ages, full names. Like you want to know what the first and last name is, in its entirety, and try and have as accurate of a date for what it is that you're looking up. You plug that into Google first, see what you can get out of Google. And then after that, and you got your dates and stuff. And then also like your maternal and paternal, your mother and father, I believe it's like their fathers. And then you kind of go from there. And I couldn't get there. I ended up on Penelope because there was no, after, like, for a certain point in time, there was no male there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had to continue on with her. But um aside from all that, like, make sure you're collecting all of your dates and stuff. Now, for a moment, I did, and then your state, whatever state you're in, um, their libraries, they have records.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to them, and then
And
some
Indiana
states
is free right
also.
now. I think
Mm-hmm.
because my cousin was showing me stuff. She showed me my grandfather's draft card for the war that he was drafted into.
Yeah, you can. They have, like, if you go on ancestry on some people, on my mom's paternal side, my grandfather Robert Williamson, his draft card, I believe I was able to see that on ancestry. But like, and I believe there are genealogists. Some states have the genealogists that are just there for your state, so you can look them up and ask them questions. And then ancestry sometimes will get frustrating because you'll come to a dead end, especially if you don't have like your accurate dates and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But get what I did for a minute, I paid for ancestry, but then when I kind of came to a halt where I wasn't getting anywhere else, then I canceled my membership. Then your girl, because I got about 3 email addresses, okay, and with each email address,
Let's get another
you
count
get
going.
14. Yup, you get 14 free days, okay. And then they got tiers, so you can get the basic on down to the extreme for free for 14 days, and then after that, then you get, then it gets expensive, so you got to cancel that. I do it on like 12th day, okay.
That's dedication,
So
people. Dedication. What's up, Ev? What's up, my good brother, man? Hope all is well. But that's a beautiful thing, man. And I would love if I got any family listening to this right now. I would love. At first, I didn't want to take ownership of this, and I still don't want full ownership. I want to
go
work
ahead,
on.
get it, go on,
I
take
want to
it.
work on putting together a family reunion.
Oh,
It can be,
that'd be nice.
yeah, it could be small, nothing major, but because my brother got kids and my cousins have kids. Um,
Y'all gonna do it in Indianapolis, or you gonna try and bring it to Georgia?
well, I guess that would kind of depend on the participants and what's going on with them, but wherever really.
Yeah, or Tennessee. So
Uh, my mother just texted me and said, my grandmother taught young Roosevelt Williamson.
really,
Yeah, and I think she taught his sister as well at School 42 when she taught there.
yes, that's where every last one of my like older family members,
Yeah.
when you ask them what school they went to, they went to school 42. My
Listen,
mama went to school 42, all her brothers and sisters 42, and then addicts from there.
see, my grandmother's well known from being a teacher, and we wouldn't know that until you walking down outside or something, you in the store or something, and my grandmother, she had a memory like no other. She'd be like, "That's such and such," and they'd be like, "Miss Jones." Like my grandmother, I mean, she remembers birthdays, and I'm like, baby, I don't know how you do it. If people wasn't telling me happy birthday, I wouldn't know today was whenever my birthday is. But shout out to my mama for sliding me that intel. So that means
Yes, thank
I
you.
can go get a free plate from the Williamsons. Like, my grandmother taught the owner, the creator.
Mm,
I'm gonna need
you could
extra
try.
fries.
You can try. You can try. We'll
Look,
see how that works out for you.
the grandchildren be like, I don't know who that is, and get out of this line. But yeah, that was a good fun fact. Let's go. We're gonna go ahead and bring in.
That is a fun fact. Want to hear a fun fact? It's like a fun fact.
Another fun fact.
Here's a fun fact.
Or not so
Fun fact.
Or here's another not so fun fact.
Not so much fun anymore, is it?
That was an amazing fun fact segment, but we about to get Judge Mathis on the call. We're gonna talk about this stimulus. We're gonna talk about this money, honey.
Hello.
Judge Mathis, what's going on, my
What's up,
brother?
Judge?
Good morning, sir. You're interrupting my morning walk, sir.
Why are
I'm
you
trying
walking?
to-
It's cold in Detroit.
The cold air wakes me up, sir. And I'm out here trying to feed the crackheads right now, and you are interrupting me. I told you, that's what I do. Saturday morning, I go to the park and I feed the crackheads, sir.
Man, we want to thank you for your contribution, man. Hopefully you can help steer them back to the not crackhead path. I know you can do it. If anybody can do
The
it.
straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hallelujah.
Yes, I can do that, sir. I used to be out here. I wasn't on crack, but I was in the gang, sir.
Oh, was you?
I was in a gang, sir. I told you that, sir.
Was your voice this high pitched in the gang?
Yes, it was. That's how I talk to all my clients. When I did dope deals, this is how I talk to them. Do you want 3 bricks or 4, sir?
Ooh, boy, you crazy. Oh man. So I'm pretty sure you've kept your eyes close to the news. I don't watch mainstream news that much, but I did hear the rumblings of this stimulus check.
Yes, I've heard it. What about it?
Are we gonna really get it? And how many?
I don't know, sir, but we all need it. I need it. I know what I'm gonna do when I get my stimulus check. I think I'm gonna do what Lil Uzi Vert did. I'm gonna get a diamond and I'm gonna place it in the middle of my forehead so I can show off all the money I've earned through my stimulus check. That's what I'm gonna do, sir.
How much diamond you think you're gonna get with the stimulus check?
It may be a cubic zirconian, but still, sir, I'm going to put it in the middle of my forehead, sir.
But what if it turns green?
That's all. I'm going to just tell people it's a green diamond, sir. I have a plan. Don't worry about me. and what I'm gonna do with my stimmy, sir. You're being nosy now, sir.
Did you call it your stimmy?
It's
My
stimmy.
stimmy.
I heard that too.
Oh. So how can we go about getting the maximum though? You know, these politicians, they keep playing with this good money. We might need to get to that capital again.
We might need to, sir. I not only know crackheads, but I know a few rednecks that are willing to do it again, sir.
Cause I heard some of them, they're not getting prosecuted.
I don't. I believe that. I believe that, sir. Just because of the way the system is set up. But what you can do, sir, so that you can get more of that stimmy, you can go out there, Khalil, and have some more kids. That's what you can do.
Have some more kids? What? I don't even have one. What do you mean more?
Well, just you don't have any kids, sir. You don't have any kids.
Not that I know
You're light
of.
skinned, you got a beard, you got wavy hair, and you don't have any illegitimate kids out there. Is that what you're telling me, sir?
Not that I know of, Judge. I don't got no kids,
That's
baby.
hard to believe, sir. All of the greats, the Al B. Shore, Christopher Williams, Rick Fox, all of your kind have kids out there, sir. What's wrong with you? You are behind the clock, sir. There's no more pull and pray, sir. You got to stay in there and get you some kids. So you can get the stimmy, sir.
So this is how we're promoting to get this stimmy, huh?
That's what you have to do, sir. It's all about the dependent, sir.
I don't know if I want that stimmy though, man. I don't know if I want it if I gotta do that.
I'm telling you, sir, it'll change your life.
Yeah, it will, literally. He said pull and pray. Is that what y'all do in Detroit?
That's what we do, sir. That is how we operate up. We pull and we pray, sir.
Hey, why this dude tell me, one of my cool partners, when I was in Indianapolis, he says, he was talking about his fiance or something. He was like, you know how y'all light skinned people can't see when he said, you know how your light skinned people can see through your eyelids? I said, what? We can see through it. Yeah, because I told my girl was like, turn off the lights. And I was just telling her, just close your eyes and you won't see the lights. But he said, but you light-skinned people can see through your eyelids. And I was like, are you serious?
That's because you have no melanin in your eyelids, sir, because they're so light, they're transparent, sir. That's what it is. Do your history. Do your fact check, sir. All the Cardi B, Saweetie, Keisha Cole, all of them, they can see through their eyelids because they're so light, sir. And I know you can too. So don't trip. I know you can.
I don't know where all this is coming from.
It's just a part of your light skin history. And on top of that, while we're talking about light skinned people, what's going on with Tiny and T.I. down there, sir? What is happening in the bedroom, sir? What is that? What's going on? They're drugging people and sleeping with them, sir. Is that what we're doing down there in the ATL?
I don't know. Is that what happened?
That's supposedly what's going on down there. There's multiple people who have come forward and said that T.I. and Tiny, she's light-skinned, by the way, and she has been slipping pills to people, sir, and just having their way. I don't know what's going on. Now I know what TIP stands for, sir. Take one.
Oh, my God.
Maybe we should get Tip on the phone.
It stands for take one pill. That's what it stands for, sir.
Wait a minute. You said take one pill. What?
Yeah, that I is not an I. That's a Roman
It's a
numeral,
Lord.
sir. That's what it is.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Judge, I think you got Tip's number. I think you can call him and ask him.
I'm not calling Tip, sir. I don't want to. I'm not calling Tiny. No, they're not gonna get me. They're not gonna slip me one. It's very ironic that she's from a group called Escape, because that's what they've been trying to do, sir. Get out of the house to get away from T.I. and Tiny, sir.
Ooh, if you want me.
Sir, stop it. You're scaring away the crackheads that I'm feeding right now, sir. What is wrong with you? Goodness. And you guys are having an all-star game down there. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, it's coming, man. You come on down here, Judge. We're gonna go
No,
out and have some,
I am not
quarantine
coming.
jinx.
No, sir. I refuse to be down there with basketball players, celebrities, and strip clubs, sir, during a pandemic. I refuse, sir. Everybody down there is going to catch COVID and the clap, sir. I am convinced. The doctors are going to be highly confused. They're going to be like, sir, you can't taste anything and it burns when you pee, sir. I don't know what to tell you. No, I'm not coming, Jamil.
What's up, Paula? How you doing, sweetie?
COVID and the clap.
I didn't know the clap was still a disease. I thought that retired years ago. I didn't know that was still a
No,
thing.
sir, people are still getting it. It's hard, sir.
I think it's only...
Uh,
Nah, I ain't gonna say that. Well, listen. Well, listen, Judge, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy morning, out of your walk, to come chat with us. I apologize for for getting in your schedule, but send us pictures when you get that cubic zirconia stapled to your forehead.
I definitely, it's not stapled, sir. It's an implant, sir. It's permanent.
You might want to use some type of tape, though. Don't make it permanent right off top.
About that, sir. Can I get back to feeding my crackheads, sir? They're wondering, I'm running out of crack, and they're getting frantic right
wait
now,
a minute.
sir.
You got crack, Judge?
What else am I going to feed? I'm not going to feed them white bread, sir. They aren't pigeons, sir. I've got crack. I sprinkle a little crack on the ground just to keep them going and go about their day, sir.
Okay, Judge. All right, brother. We gonna get you off of here, man. Go on, do your thing. Don't get caught with them rocks, though. They passing out.
Have a
25.
nice day, sir.
Oh. Whew. Well, everybody, what have you learned from today? You've learned that Atlanta's getting an all-star game, and they're going to be passing out clap and corona.
COVID. Mm-hmm. And we also learned that that light-skinned people can see through their eyelids when they're closed.
Man. Yo,
That's some new stuff. That's a superpower.
And I'm like, I hope you really don't believe that. Wow. All right. All right, kids. You kids get to bed now. Listen, I've enjoyed this show. We are right at 10:30. I want to thank everybody for joining. And this has been the Jamil Harley Show. And Quiana, you got anything you want to say before we get off here?
Research yourself.
Yeah, start with Google. www.google.com. Ladies and gentlemen, find out who you are, who you were, so you can know who you're supposed to be. And that is the Jamil Harley Morning Show.
You are now listening to the Jamil Harley Morning Show.